Hello everybody, it's good to see you again. It's good to have you back. I'm glad you're here. Repito, hello everybody. It's good to see you again. I'm glad to have you back here. I'm glad to see you once again. I'm glad to see that you're still here. 186 classes. Well, 185 classes because today we're starting right now class number 186. Yes, we have 10 classes left, including today's class. Only 2 weeks left after a 9-month course. It's been a long time, yes. It seems like only yesterday. It seems like only yesterday that we were starting together. But now we're approaching the end. We're getting closer and closer to the end. Como decía hace muchas clases, slowly but surely, step by step, little by little, moving forward, progressing, getting better, advancing. We're doing all of those things, and we continue to do these things. But we're on the home stretch now, the home stretch. Se ve la luz. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes, it's getting bigger and bigger, the light at the end of the tunnel. And you're hearing a lot of expressions: as cool as a cucumber, as tall as a tree, as stubborn as a mule, as busy as a bee, falta uno, as deaf as a post, as dry as a bone. My cup is as dry as a bone. Maria forgot to put water in it. It's as dry as a bone, which is not true. My cup is full to the brim. To the brim, all right, to the top. Okay, so I have a lot of water here. Okay, so class number 186, we have a lot of things to do today, but let's begin with a short review on camera number 1, please. All right, so since when? Since when are you a teacher, Richard? Well, I've been a teacher since 1974. Yes. The United States is a sovereign state. Really? Un Estado soberano? The United States? Since when? Since 1776. Yes. 234 years ago? Or 224 years ago? I'm not sure. 234 years ago, yes. So the United States has been a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, okay, for 236 years. Yes. The United States of America is a sovereign state, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states. Interesting. In the preamble to the Constitution, it says, the United States es una nación soberana de muchos estados soberanos. It's interesting, the preamble de la Constitución. Okay. Nope, miento. It's what we call el credo americano, the American's creed. I believe in the United States as a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed. A democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable. Interesting. This is a creed, un credo, creed, like the Apostles' Creed. I believe in God the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, etc. This is the Credo de los Apóstoles, the Apostles' Creed. But the American Creed is interesting. It says, I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. De ahí viene. Cuyos poderes justos, whose just powers are derived, derivados, from the consent of the governed. A democracy in a republic, a sovereign nation, ahí está bien, una nación soberano, of many sovereign states, que en principio es imposible es paradójico. A sovereign nation of many sovereign states, y luego a perfect union. More or less. One and inseparable, etc. And then it continues. A perfect union is impossible, but the United States suffered a cruel civil war in order to establish a more perfect union. Okay? And it is true that it's a sovereign nation of many relatively sovereign states. The states don't have full powers, perhaps more than the autonomous regions in Spain, but it has a longer tradition of a federal system. Spain is not a federal country. It's interesting to study political science, but for me, politics is not interesting. I would never like to be a politician, but I enjoy studying and debating and pondering on questions of political science, always looking for the best way to improve public policy, to improve governance, to improve social and political organization, and to improve the leadership of nations and the progress of nations. It's quite interesting, and the best way to organize nations to be progressive. Okay, so since when? All right. I live in Spain. Oh, really? Since when? Well, I've been living in Spain since 1974. Okay. I'm American. You're American? Since when? Well, I've been American since the day I was born. I was born in the United States. Alberto Alonso works with me. Really? Alberto works with you? Yes. Well, since when? Well, we've been working together since 2005, I believe. Richard Brown and I work together. You do? Well, since when? Well, Richard Brown and I have been working together since 1999. For a long time, yeah. Yes. And David Waddell works with me. He does. Since when? Well, he's been working with me since 2002, 2003, for a long time. Yeah, David is an interesting person. He's as cool as a cucumber, and sometimes he's as stubborn as a mule. All right, but he's always as busy as a bee. And he's not as deaf as a post. He can hear people very well, and he has a very musical ear because he's a concert pianist. He's a musician. Yes, and he's very productive. He's very creative. He's very inventive. His creativity is not as dry as a bone. He's very creative, but he's as cool as a cucumber in front of the cameras and in life in general. He's as cool, tiene tanta sangre fría como un pepino, as cool as a cucumber. All right, I'll be back in just a few minutes to continue with class number 186. See you soon.
Hello there, my name is Carly Carson. Nice to see you again. Before we start our review of the previous class, I want to introduce my guest. I'm here with Luca. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Excellent, fine, thank you. Today we are going to practice the review of the previous class. Two things. We're going to practice ¿Desde cuándo me conoces? ¿Desde cuándo me conoces? Luca, in English?
Since when have you met me?
I would say no here.
Have you known me?
Good. Since when have you known me? Because meet is always in the past, right? If it's finished. I met you 1 month ago. Yeah, I met her 1 month ago. So I've known her since, when is it? February, something like that. So we say, ¿Desde cuándo me conoces? Since when have you known me? Since when have you known? In the present perfect. In Spanish, present simple. English, present perfect. ¿Desde cuándo le enseñas?
Since when have you taught him?
Excellent. Since when have you taught him? When did it begin? You're asking. When did it begin? Good. ¿Desde cuándo nadas?
Since when have you swum?
Swum.
Swum.
Good with the wum, swum. Swim, swam, swum. So the participle is swum. Since when have you swum? Right, I've swum for 15 years. ¿Desde cuándo estudias inglés?
Since when have you studied English?
Excellent, good. Since when have you studied? Always present perfect. ¿Desde cuándo viajas a Francia?
Since when have you traveled to France?
Excellent, good. Traveled to, very good. ¿Desde cuándo llevas esa ropa?
Since when have you worn that clothes?
Clothes
that
is?
clothes.
Those?
Those clothes.
Excellent, repeat that.
Since when have you worn those clothes?
Very good. So we always, since when have you worn those clothes? Because ropa in English is plural, yeah? It has to be plural. Good. ¿Desde cuándo comes esto?
Since when have you eaten that?
Excellent. Good. Since when have you eaten that? Maybe you're eating sushi. And I say, since when have you eaten that? I've eaten it since 2003. Yeah, I've eaten it. Present perfect. Good. ¿Desde cuándo escribes novelas?
Since when have you written novels?
Perfect. Novels, we say. Since when have you written novels? Tell me.
Since when have you written novels?
Novels.
Novels.
Good. And I can see Luca's teeth on her bottom lip. Novels. Novels. Very good. ¿Desde cuándo comes comida china?
Since when have you eaten Chinese food?
Good pronunciation. Chinese. China. Chinese. Good. ¿Desde cuándo lavas los platos a mano?
Since when have you washed the dishes by hand?
Perfect. Good. By hand. Yeah? A mano is correct in Spanish. I was doubting myself. By hand, we say. Since when have you washed? Very good of Luca. Washed the dishes by hand. By hand. Very good. ¿Desde cuándo vienes aquí?
Since when have you come here?
Excellent. Since when have you come here? Always present perfect. So the question in Spanish, present simple. Question in English, present perfect, right? Since when, and the action started in the past and continues until now. All right, the second part of the review. Expressions, all right? Some of these are a bit tricky, but good. We're gonna use expressions with as. So I'm gonna ask you questions and you guess what they mean. Do you know anyone who is as blind as a bat?
¿Conoces a alguien que sea tan ciego como un murciélago?
Exactly. Good. So these expressions obviously are not direct. But yeah, it's like conoces a alguien que es súper ciego, something like that, right? Not necessarily blind, but they aren't aware of anything. So do you know anyone who is as blind as a bat? As, yeah? Very good. Do you know anyone who is as blind as a bat?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. All right. Are you as cool as a cucumber when you give a presentation?
Literalmente sería tan fresco como un pepino.
Yes.
It
just means relaxed, right? You're not nervous. You feel calm. So I try to be as cool as a cucumber when I give a presentation, yeah? So are you as cool as a cucumber when you give a presentation?
I am as cool as a cucumber when I give a presentation.
Make. Good. Give or make. Yeah, so I'm as cool as a cucumber when I make or give presentations. Good. So as cool as a cucumber, tan fresco como un pepino. Ridiculous in Spanish. Very good. Are phrasal verbs as easy as pie to learn? Pie? Tarta.
Okay.
Right, you have like two types. We have pie and cake. We say as easy as pie. Really easy. So are phrasal verbs as easy as pie to learn?
Yes, as easy as pie.
As easy as pie. Okay. Do you think so?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent. Phrasal verbs are easy as pie. No problem. Good. Do you feel as free as a bird when you're on holiday?
Yes, I feel as free as a bird when I am on holiday.
Good, and we can understand that. As free as a bird. As free as a bird. Very good. Is your boss as hard as nails?
Yes, my boss is as hard as nails.
Good. Hopefully he doesn't understand that. Nails are clavos, so we say as hard as nails. He's really tough, really duro, we would say. Good. So a couple expressions with as. Keep practicing those, and you can look up more information about them when you want. Take care.
Okay, you know there are 7 or 8 people who manage this television show. We have Maria as the floor manager, and Jorge and Julio and Seve and Juanpa and many other people. Yeah, but Maria is really important. She's really, really important. Yeah, and what about the others? What about the others? Aren't they important too? Yes, they are. Maria is really important. Yeah, but what about the others? Are they less important than Maria? What about them? What about them? What about them? Well, okay, they're equally important. All right, they're equally important. Let's change the camera number 1 before you get too angry, please, okay? Let's go to camera 1, please. All right. Yeah, you see these pencils? Yeah. These pencils are very important for me. Yeah. Especially this one, the brown one. The brown one is really important for me. Yeah, that's why I always put it first in the pencil holder, you see? Really? And what about the rest? What about the rest? Y los demás qué? Y los demás qué in English? And what about? And what about the rest? Well, the rest are important, but the brown one is probably more important than the rest. Come on, what about the pink ones? I remember, Richard, you're always choosing the pink ones first. What about them? What about the pink ones? Well, the pink ones are important, yes. Let me take out the pink ones. They're important. Yeah. There are a lot of pink ones here. I think that's it, yeah. The pink ones are important too, yeah. And what about the yellow one? Your favorite is always the yellow one because there's only one yellow pencil among them. There are 4 pink pencils, but only one yellow. What about the yellow pencil? What about the yellow one? What about the yellow one? Well, you're right. The yellow pencil is very close to my heart. So yes, you're right. Let's put the yellow pencil in the pencil holder. And what about the blue pencils, Richard? You told me your favorite color is blue, and what about the blue pencils? Well, I agree, the blue pencils are important, yes, and I like blue. It's not my favorite color, but it's my 3rd favorite color. So yes, you're right. Let's put the blue pencils in the pencil holder. There we go. The dark blue and light blue pencil holder. And what about the red pencils? You've always had a special predilection for red pencils. What about them? Are you going to pay no attention to the red pencils? What about the red pencils? Well, you're right, you know? I didn't think about that. That's true. I always enjoy using red pencils. You're right. Well, before the red pencils get too angry, let's take them out, shall we? And put them in here. And what about the purple ones? What about the purple pencils, Richard? You always talk about purple. You know, you're right. My God. Let's take the 2 purple pencils out. And there's a blue pencil I forgot. Let's put them back. And what about the orange one, Richard? You forgot the orange. What about it? I remember you also have a special predilection for orange pencils. It's true. I'll put it back. And what about the other 3? Is there a problem with the other 3 pencils? What about them? Poor pencils. Well, these 3 I'm saving for last because they're my favorite pencils. The beige one, the black one, and another brown one I forgot. So I'm keeping them to use, okay, because they're very special for me. What about? Okay. Voy a visitar Catalunya. I'm going to visit Catalonia, okay? I'm going to visit Barcelona. Really? Good. What about El Penedès? El Valle del Penedès? Why don't you buy? What about that? Aren't you going to visit that area? Maybe. And what about Cadaqués and Figueres? That's Salvador Dali's area. What about that? Why don't you go there? Well, it's true. I can go there too. And what about Tarragona? Tarraco, the Roman ruins in Tarragona. It's very interesting. What about Tarragona? You're right. I'm going to include Tarragona in my trip. And what about Lerida? What about the Pirineos, Leridense, Ponte Suerte, and up in those areas of Valle de Arán? It's very beautiful. What about that? True. I'll see that too. All right. I'm also going to visit Asturias. Really? What are you going to visit in Asturias? I'm going to visit Gijón and Avilés. And what about Oviedo? It's beautiful. Yeah, well, maybe, yeah. And what about Llanes? Oh, yeah, true. And what about Arriondas? You forgot Arriondas. And what about Cangas de Onís? Oh, yeah. And what about Covadonga? My God, and the lakes. What about the lakes? You forgot them. And what about Navia at the other side? Oh, true. And what about Cudillero? You forgot Cudillero. My God. And what about Grado? You forgot that. And what about the Somiedo Mountain Pass? My God, yeah. Hey, listen, I forgot most of the nice places in Asturias. Yeah, but I'm also planning to visit I'm also planning to visit the province of Salamanca. Really? What are you going to visit? The capital, Salamanca. Oh, fine. And what about Béjar? You're missing Béjar. What about Guijuelo, where they make all the sausages? Yeah. And what about La Alberca? Beautiful town. Yeah, Las Batuecas down in that area. What about that? And what about Ciudad Rodrigo? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful parador, beautiful castle. What about Ciudad Rodrigo? And what about Vitigudino? Beautiful places. Yeah, and what about El Castillo de Buen Humor, del Amor, on the way from Salamanca up to Zamora? It's very pretty. Yeah. There are a lot of very nice places. Yeah. And what about Peñaranda de Bracamonte? You're forgetting some very nice places in Salamanca. What about these other places? What about them? All right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll look at the map again and replan my trip to Salamanca. But I hear you're going to Texas, is that right? Yes, I'm planning to spend 2 weeks in Texas. Well, almost 3 weeks, really. What places are you going to visit? Dallas. Fine. 3 weeks in Dallas. Yeah. And what about Houston? You're forgetting Houston. And what about Austin? The capital is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And what about San Antonio? My God, the Alamo and the Riverwalk. And what about El Paso? Fantastic place. And what about Corpus Christi on the Gulf of Mexico? What about Galveston? Yeah. And what about West Texas, Pecos, Texas? And what about Amarillo? Come on. You're missing the best places. Dallas is nice. It's a very beautiful city, yes. But what about the other places? What about them? Yeah. You're planning to raise Alberto's salary, and you're planning to raise Hannah's salary, and you're planning to raise Kyle's salary? Well, what about me? Don't I deserve a raise too? Come on. What about me? Yeah, y yo qué? And what about me? Come on, I'm making a stronger effort than they are. I deserve more money than they do. What about me? You've forgotten about me. Everybody else is getting more money, and me what? And what about me? Well, let's take a short break for our sponsors, and then I'll be back. Hello, Michael. I'm glad to know you're planning to spend some time in Spain. I would recommend that you spend your time in Madrid. In Madrid, Richard? But Michael? Listen, Michael. Don't listen to Richard. No, he should spend his time in Madrid. Yeah? What about Toledo? What about Segovia? What about Salamanca? What about Asturias? What about Seville? What about Granada? What about Cordoba? What about Valencia? My God, what about Cazorla, the area? What about, my God, what about Barcelona? It's beautiful. What about Zaragoza and El Pilar? Come on, and what about Zamora? What about Galicia? My God, don't tell Michael just to spend his time in Madrid. He's missing he's missing the best places in Spain. Yeah, and what about Salamanca? What about Burgos? My God, it's beautiful. My God, what about Soria? It's beautiful. Yeah, what about it?
Hello everyone, I'm Natasha, your teacher, and today I'm here with Annette, a student you all know, okay, because she's very good. How are you, Annette?
Fine, thank you.
Yes, what did you do today to improve your English?
I studied a bit.
What did you do? Where? How?
I studied English with the radio.
Okay. Yeah, very good. With the radio, and what else? Were you also taking notes of words you didn't know, for example?
Sometimes I take notes.
Do you have a notebook where you keep all your
Yes,
words?
I have my radio.
Your radio notebook, that's a very good idea. And do you review it every now and then?
Yes, of course.
Very good, very good. That's a good idea, to have all the vocabulary you learn in one notebook. So that way you can go and look at your vocabulary when you want to review it, okay? So very good, Annette. Okay, as you know, we're going to work on the grammar point of the day, okay? We're going to work on what about, okay? And the translation is ¿y tarará qué? For example, ¿y el sábado qué? And what about Saturday? What about Saturday? So that's the translation, okay? So, ¿y el sábado qué? What about Saturday? It's very, very, very easy because there's no auxiliary. Okay, actually there's no verb. What about Saturday? Okay, very easy, but it's very common to say, and Saturday, what? Okay, this is Spanglish, okay, so don't use that, okay? It's what about Saturday, okay? Do you understand? It's very easy, isn't it? It's just very different to Spanish. That's why it's difficult, not because of the structure, okay? The structure is a piece of cake. What's a piece of cake?
Es pan comido.
Very good. Okay, let's start, okay? We'll do this with a translation list. I'll say it in Spanish, and you and Annette have to say it in English. Remember to practice everything out loud, okay? Even if there are people around you, it doesn't matter. Say it out loud, okay? I can hear you. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. ¿Y mi hijo qué?
And my son, what
Ah.
about my son?
Ah, very good.
What
Very good.
about my son?
Very good. But Annette did this to show you what people usually say, not what she said. Okay, one more time.
What about my son?
Very good. What about my son? Okay, ¿y mi hijo qué? What about my son? Okay, the next one is for you at home. ¿Y los deberes qué? Very good. And my homework? And my homework. What am I saying? I'm getting confused. What about my homework? What about my homework? Okay, I don't know what happened to me there. What about my homework? Okay, Annette, the next one is for you. ¿Y las otras preguntas qué?
What about the other questions?
Very good. What about the other questions? What about the other questions? Very good pronunciation of questions, Annette, okay? It's questions. Questions. Very good pronunciation. The next one is for Annette as well, okay? ¿Y el horno qué?
And what about the oven?
Okay, entonces si tenemos oven que empieza con una vocal, ¿qué
Oh,
tenemos?
the. What
Very
about the
good.
oven?
Okay, for you at home, remember that the can either be the or the. Si empieza con una vocal, la siguiente palabra, tenemos que decir the oven. Okay, so let's get Annette to repeat.
What about the oven?
Very good. What about the oven? What about the oven? Very good. The next one is for you at home, okay? ¿Y la otra película qué? Very good. What about the other movie? What about the other movie? En este caso también pasa porque tenemos other. Por lo tanto, tiene que ser the other movie y no the other movie. Let's get Annette to repeat this one.
What about the other movie?
Very good pronunciation. Very good. Okay, the next one. ¿Y su casco qué?
What about his
How is casco?
head
Helmet.
helmet?
Helmet.
What about his helmet?
Very good. What about his helmet? What about his helmet? At home, repeat. Very good. What about his helmet? Okay, the next one is for Annette as well, okay? ¿Y nuestro vuelo qué?
What about our flight?
Very good. What about our flights? What about our flights? The next one is for you at home. ¿Y yo qué? Very good. What about me? What about me? Let's get Annette to repeat this one.
What about me?
Very good. The next one. ¿Y el resto de tus amigos qué?
What about the rest of your friends?
Very good. One more time.
What about the rest of your friends?
Very good. What about the rest of your friends? At home, repeat. Very good. What about the rest of your friends? Okay, very good. The next one. ¿Y la colcha qué? Okay, very good. What about the quilt? What about the quilt? Did you know this, Annette? Did you know that colcha was quilt?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so repeat the sentence so we can practice the word.
What about the
Quilt.
quilts?
Very good. Quilt. Yeah, one more time.
Quilt. What about the quilt?
Very good, very good. The next one. ¿Y tu examen qué?
What about your exam?
Very good. ¿Y colcha cómo era?
Quilt.
Very good memory. Okay, the next one is for you at home. ¿Y vuestro viaje qué? Very good. What about your trip? What about your trip? One more time. Very good. What about your trip? Okay, let's see if Annette remembers. Colcha?
Quilt.
Very good. Okay, ¿y la sobrina de John qué?
What about
John's-
John's nephew?
No, la
No,
sobrina.
niece.
Niece.
What
very good.
about John's niece?
Very good. One more time.
What about John's niece?
Very good. At home, repeat. Very good. What about John's niece? What about John's niece? Okay. The next one is for you at home. Okay. ¿Y el semáforo qué? ¿Y el semáforo qué? Very good. What about the traffic light? What about the traffic light? Let's see if Annette can repeat this one.
What about the traffic light?
Very good. ¿Y la colcha qué?
What about the quilt?
Very good memory. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? ¿Y el mantel que te regalé, qué? ¿Y el mantel que te regalé, qué? Very good. What about the tablecloth I gave you? What about the tablecloth I gave you? Let's see if Annette can repeat this one.
What about the tablecloth I gave you?
Very good. What about the tablecloth? Mantel, tablecloth, okay? Okay, the next one. ¿Y tu hipoteca qué?
What about your mortgage?
Very good. What about your mortgage? Annette, concentrate. ¿Y su casco qué?
What about your helmet?
Or su casco.
What about his helmet?
Very good. Very, very good. What about his helmet? What about his helmet? She has a good memory for vocabulary. ¿Y la colcha qué?
What about your quilt?
The quilt.
What about the quilt?
Very good. I'm very happy with Annette today, okay? The next one is for you at home. ¿Y tu otro coche qué? Very good. What about your other car? What about your other car? Annette, the next one. ¿Y el cartero qué?
What about the postman?
Very good. What about the postman? Okay, the next one. ¿Y tu billete qué?
What about your ticket?
Very good. What about your ticket? What about your ticket? Repeat at home. Very good. What about your ticket? Okay, Annette, ¿y la colcha qué?
What about the quilt?
What about the quilt?
What about the quilt?
Very good. ¿Y su casco qué?
What about his helmet?
¿Y la colcha qué?
What about his?
What
What
the-
about the quilt?
Very good. I'm very, very, very happy with you. Practice the vocabulary. You practice the vocabulary as well as at home, and I'll see you next time. Remember to study and practice as much as possible. Bye.
Thank you. Welcome back. You know, I've just realized, acabo de darme cuenta, I've just realized that this segment is about just, and I'm not prepared. I've just realized that I have to do something that I haven't had time to prepare for. I made a mistake. I was confused. I was looking at the material for class 187, and I have just realized that it's class 186, my God. So I'm not really ready to teach this segment. I've just realized that I have made a mistake. But just because I made a mistake doesn't mean I can't teach just. So let's go to camera one and spend 7 minutes with just. Okay. You remember the other day, yesterday or the day before yesterday, we were talking about Freddie Mercury from Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Él simplemente es simplemente o solamente un chico pobre y nada más. Y yo solo soy un profesorito de inglés. I'm just a teacher. That's all I am. And you're just a student. You're not important for me, and I'm not important for you. You know, do you think you're important for me? There are 2 million people watch this program. Yeah. You're just 1 in 2 million. Come on. And you're Spanish? You know how many people there are in Spain? There's 46 million people in Spain. You're just 1 in 46 million. Do you think you're important? Nah, you're not important. Me? I'm 1 in 46 million too. So I'm just 1 in 46 million. I'm not important either. And Maria? You know, I talk a lot about Maria, but she's just a normal young lady. Nothing special. She's just a normal person, isn't she? Well, she's special, by the way. But I'm just a human being, and you're just a human being. We're just 2 human beings on this planet. We don't know why. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm on this planet. What's the purpose? Why am I here? I'm just 1 in 6 billion people. Bueno, casi 7 billion, yeah. In Inglés, billion is mil millones. 1 billion is mil millones. And there's 6.7 billion people on this planet, and I'm just 1 out of 6.7 billion. So I'm just a drop in the ocean. So when I die, it's like a drop of water that falls in the ocean and is diluted into a big ocean, and I'm nothing. Yes, from dust to dust. All right, I'm just 1 person on a very small instant, a microscopic moment in geological time, is the time I'm here, making a strong effort to teach you English, working 12 hours a day, and in the end, for what? I'm just a poor soul, un pobre alma, you know, that spends its microscopic instant in geological time, and then I'm diluted into an ocean like one drop. Yes. So I have no reason to be optimistic. Yes, because I'm just a normal person. Solo soy una persona normal. Solo soy un tipo normal. I'm just a normal guy. Nothing special. Yeah, I'm just like you. Solo soy igual que tú. I'm just like you, simplemente como tú. I'm just like you. We're just like each other. We're in this together. We're only here for a short moment, just a pop, a fraction of geological time. And then we disappear forever. Yes, Macbeth said it. Macbeth said, life is a poor player. Yes, la vida es un pobre actor que se pavonea su oro en el escenario, luego ya no se lo oí más. Life is a poor player who struts and frets his hour on the stage, su oro en el escenario, and then is heard no more. Yes, that's what we are. We're just poor actors who spend our hour on the stage and then we disappear forever. Yes, life is a story told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, that doesn't mean anything. That's according to Macbeth, not necessarily according to me or according to William Shakespeare, who created Macbeth and put the words in his mouth. Macbeth was an optimist, but his character, Macbeth, was a pessimist and a skeptic and even a cynic. All right, yes. I'm just one person in 6.7 billion people on this planet. I'm just here for a fraction of geological time, but the attitude I have adopted is an attitude that I will enjoy it. Yes, I'll enjoy it to the limit, even though I'm just a normal guy, even though I'm just one person in billions, even though I'm just here for a fraction of geological time, even though I'm just practically a spot of dust on this planet, I plan to enjoy this moment of geological time, and I plan to live life to the limit, if possible, and to drink the wine to the dregs, beber el vino hasta los pozos of life, even though I'm just one person, even though I'm just here for a very short period of time, geologically, even though I'm just practically nothing, I plan to drink the best wine to the bottom of the bottle. Yes. Así usamos just, aunque solo sea así, aunque todo solo sea así, even if everything is just like that, the best decision is to say, well, so what? ¿Y qué? So what? Let's enjoy it. Even though we're just fractions of time, even though we're just 1 in 7 billion, let's enjoy it. Let's look for love. Let's look for fun. Let's look for stimulation. Let's look for ambition. Let's look for success. Let's look for happiness. It's more fun looking for it than being pessimistic and not trying. Okay, giving up is not the question. Giving up is not the question. Maybe life is absurd. El absurdo de la vida. Perhaps life is absurd, but it doesn't matter. We need to live life as if we wanted to change the universe. Try to live life as if you can change the universe, and then life becomes fun, enjoyable, stimulating, worth living, even though we are just one mortal soul in 7 billion, and just for one moment in geological time. Still, there's a reason to be proud of this and to do your best. But first, learn English, okay? I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah. Welcome again to another block with me and my special student for today, Mamen. Hello.
Hello, Hannah. How are you?
Great, how are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, great. Well, we're on our third block for the program y como ya sabes, y también vosotros en casa, empezamos con vocabulario. So remember, en voz alta, con buena, vamos, ni buena, perfecta pronunciación. Okay, empezando. Complejo.
Complex.
Good. Complex.
Complex.
Or también.
Or complex.
Okay. Now, ¿qué es la diferencia? Porque sí que hay una diferencia. Now, if we say complejo como sustantivo, por ejemplo, dices, él tiene un complejo sobre su peso, lo que sea. En ese caso, hay que decir, he has a complex. He has a complex about his weight. El énfasis recae en la primera sílaba, complex, en ese caso, en ese sentido. However, si es adjetivo, si digo, este proyecto es bastante complejo, bastante complicado, en ese sentido, entonces puedes decir complex, it's a very complex project, or it's a very complex project. Las dos valen si es adjetivo, ¿ok? So fijaos bien.
Okay.
Next, declive.
Decline.
Good, repeat.
Decline.
Okay, good. Decline. Decline is declive. Decline. Vaya o cerca.
Fence.
Good, repeat.
Fence.
Muy bien. Great pronunciation. Fantastic. Repeat again with me. Fence. Fence. Es como una S. Fence. Next, we have tasa de mortalidad.
Death rate.
Okay, good. Death.
Death rate.
Good. Muy bien. Dos palabras aquí. Two words. Death, rate. Death, rate. En inglés literalmente decimos tasa de la muerte. Un poco sad, un poco triste, but sí, es así en inglés. Okay, so death rate. Bastante literal, ¿no? Okay, and then finally we have encantador.
Charming.
Good, yes, charming, charming. Oh, what a charming young man. What a charming lady. What a charming couple. Okay, encantador. How do we say príncipe azul?
I knew that. But you don't say blue
Oh,
prince.
no. ¿Qué acabamos de decir? El último.
The charming
Prince Charming.
Prince Charming.
Eso es.
Yes.
Okay, so we say Prince Charming. Príncipe azul no decimos Blue Prince. No, Blue Prince, no. Decimos Prince Charming. Literalmente el príncipe encantador.
Yeah.
Okay, muy bien. Now let's look at just. Okay, just. Now just hemos visto ya que usamos en varios contextos. Según el contexto puede cambiar del significado, right? But en este caso vamos a mirar just cuando significa que simplemente. Simplemente. Okay, so for example, traduce. Simplemente le llamé para saber qué tal estaba.
I just called him to know how
To see.
how he was.
Okay, good. Repeat.
I just called him to see how he was.
Perfect. Así. Okay. Simplemente le llamé para saber qué tal estaba. Now, we say just. Just significa aquí simplemente. I just called him to see. Sé que en español decimos para saber, pero en inglés no decimos to know how he was. No. En estos casos, cuando decimos para saber tal, para saber cuál, decimos en inglés para ver no sé qué. So usamos el verbo to see. I just called him to see how he was. Okay, next example. Simplemente no entiendo por qué lo hizo.
I just don't understand why he did it.
Good. Muy bien. Repeat.
I just don't understand why he did it.
Perfect. Fantastic. Así. I just don't understand. Simplemente no entiendo por qué lo hizo. I just don't understand why he did it. Aquí también podemos usar I just don't know why he didn't. No entiendo, como no sé por qué lo hizo. Simplemente. Okay. Next. Simplemente no era el momento adecuado.
It wasn't. It just.
Word to put
¿Dónde
it.
colocamos just? Ahí, esa es la
Uh,
pregunta millonaria, right? $1,000,000 question.
It just wasn't. No.
Okay.
No.
I,
No.
sorry, it just wasn't.
It just wasn't the proper moment.
The right moment. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Eso es curioso porque, claro, americanos decimos, it just wasn't. Okay? It just wasn't. Así lo decimos. Ponemos just antes el verbo y ya está. It just wasn't. Pero también mucha gente dice cuando tenemos not con el verbo to be, colocamos just, okay, justo antes el not, separando la contracción. Entonces, en este caso también sería it was just not the right moment.
Okay.
Okay, it was just not the right moment. Casi enfatizando ese hecho de que simplemente no era, right? It was just not the right moment. Pero claro, I think americanos tenemos el costumbre de siempre usar contracciones. Entonces, it just wasn't the right moment. También las dos formas valen. Okay.
Okay.
Simplemente no se entienden.
They just don't understand each other.
Perfect. Great. Repeat.
And they just don't understand each other.
Great. Good. Okay, repeat. Don't. Muy
Yes.
bien, así. Okay, so repeat with me. Don't. Ese D-O-N apostrophe T. Okay, don't. Oh, suena como si fuera una O-U. Don't. Muy redondo. Don't. Okay, the sentence was, simplemente no se entienden. They just don't understand each other. Remember, each other se usa como si fuera el uno al otro, así, all right? Now, fijaos bien cuando tenemos auxiliar, ¿dónde pusimos just? They just don't. Justo antes del verbo auxiliar. They just don't understand each other. Simplemente, es fácil. Simplemente actualízalo.
It's easy.
Good.
Just actualízalo.
Update.
Yes. Update.
Update.
It's
Eso. Perfect.
Update
Repeat
it.
again. Muy bien.
It's easy. Just update it.
Good. Eso. So, it's easy. Es fácil. It's easy. Simplemente actualízalo. Just update it. Conectamos, right? Just update it. Repeat.
It's easy. Just update it.
Good. Eso es. Just update it. Muy bien. Good job, Mamen.
Thank you.
Okay, good job at home. Please keep practicing and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. You know, well, we have 9 classes left. We have just finished class 186. We have 9 classes left. Teaching little expressions like just. It's used every day. The word just is used probably, when I speak English, if I speak for 10 hours, I will probably use the word just 1,000 times. It's a very, very important word. And the most common usage of just is in the sense of solo. Solo soy un tipo de sangre sajona que vive aquí en España, en un país no sajón. I'm just a guy of Saxon blood, Anglo-Saxon blood. That's all I am. I'm just a normal fellow. I'm just an English teacher. That's all I am. But I'm going to teach English the best I can, and I'm going to try to motivate you to do the best you can, because that gives value and meaning to life. See you tomorrow.